Hello from Detroit. I'm Brad.
I'm Can.
And we have an outstanding episode, if I do say so myself, of Thinking Out Loud that we're rolling out for you guys today. This is going to be good for all you brand managers out there. It's going to be good for all of you agency people, friends and family of Miss K.N. Reed, and yes, Target shareholders. Why? Because today we're going to talk a little bit about Target. People love the dog, people love the bullseye. It's a great company. Recently rolled out a new strategy, and with it an ad campaign. We're going to talk a little bit about the strategy, the ad campaign, and of course, how it could be better, because that's what we do. We make things better. So maybe as a first starting point here, so here's the situation and the backdrop, and I'd like the people, maybe even puppies, to weigh in it. That'd be great. Thank you very much. We all know that there's a ton of competition for retailers today. People are buying more products than ever online, and when it comes to retailers selling in the store, one, it's just tough to get people to come in, and two, how can you try to keep your products relevant? How can you have a competitive advantage and differentiation? I mean, at the end of the day, we see a lot of retailers that are struggling and going belly up, and certainly one of the reasons why is there's just commoditized. There's no innovation. There's no reason to shop at Kmart or Sears. You could just get everything online. And we also see, and we're going to talk about this quite a bit more, but the backdrop of where people are consuming content. Well, it's not cable anymore, right? People are cutting the cord to cable, forecasted here this year in 2017. We're going to decrease by over 3% the number of people who are subscribers. 2018 forecasted to be over 4%. So there's definitely a lot of things that are going on in the retail space and also the media space. But you guys all know that. Let's talk a little bit about Target and their situation. Last year, Target had a pretty significant decrease in sales, a 0.5% same-store sale decrease, driven by a 1.5% decrease during the ever-important holiday season. And this manifested itself, along with some other things that happened, with a 6% decrease in revenue for Target last year. And just to put that in perspective, we're talking about $720 million decrease in revenue for Target. So obviously, great brand, people love it, but it's time to sort of rally the troops a little bit. So what's Target doing? What do they come up with here, Can?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot they have to work on in order to combat kind of losing out some of the basic stuff to people like Amazon and other e-commerce sites. Like now I can buy my groceries on Amazon Prime, so why not?
Right.
So their main way that they're tackling this is by sunsetting and getting rid of a lot of their aging brands. Like you might recognize names like Mosimo or Morona, things like that. That they are retiring, and they are now launching 12 new brands that are modern, fresh, appealing to a younger demographic of people who care a lot less about, buying big national brand names as opposed to private label brands like those at Target.
So you could say it's a new day for private label brands at Target.
You could. In fact, that is one of the 12 brands. A New Day is a women's wear brand that they've just launched along with their first ever menswear collection, Goodfellow & Co. Project 62, which is a home line that's all very mid-century mod, very trendy.
Yes.
They've got JoyLab, a, quote, women's fashion performance brand, very on trend.
Yeah, look out Lululemon.
And Cat and Jack, which is a kids brand that actually launched a year ago and has already seen phenomenal sales. They've already sold $2.2 billion worth of Cat and Jack in the past year. So that's a really good sign for things to come with these 12 new brands. And private label brands are not only smart from a marketing perspective, but they're also great from a margins perspective. So.
Right.
All around just like a really good business strategy, and they've come out with the campaign to promote these 12 new brands and sort of their refresh called More in Store. So it's their overall brand marketing push to get all of these new labels out there, get the word out. And this campaign is going to feature print, digital, TV, and notably some Spanish language spots actually, as well as kind of the in-store visuals that go along with all these new brands. And something that they're excited about is that these commercials are featuring, really wide, diverse range of ages, ethnicities, sizes. They've recently upped their mannequin size in stores to size 22, which I think is awesome. Be more representative of the people who you're targeting. It makes a lot of sense, and I think it's a great ad overall. It's very catchy. We'll include it in this spot. But the big question here is, are the people you want to see this ad actually going to see it Target? Not so sure about that. I saw it when I was watching the Emmys, but I don't think it's going to hit a lot of people who it's going for.
Well, here's my issue with this campaign, right? So I think we're both aligned that this strategy is fantastic. Like, yes, we all love the idea of private labels, higher margin, keep things fresh, and when the brand goes stale, you can sunset that one and have a new brand without having Target become stale. So that's great. Well done, Target. Golf clap, maybe even. So that's good, but like the marketing campaign, it seems really, really stale. Like if you're not hitting the Latin target here in 2017, like thank goodness you're starting, but you're years behind the trend. I feel like Target has actually done a decent amount in the past, and to have that be a focus here just seems like they're trying desperately to roll out something that they're doing new, different, and fresh. And yes, it's great that they have an ad in the Emmys and people are gonna see it, but you're not doing anything unique and different. Like you're spending all this time thinking about this new strategy and you're rolling it out and it's fantastic, but you're trying to use the same old media and the same old approach to trying to activate it. And it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of innovation in how you're sharing this fantastic new strategy. So that part was really disappointing to me, seeing Target roll this out. So I don't think it's going to land to the same level as it could if they were doing some more innovative, fresh thinking. And of course, we would say influencers should be a part of it, just because that is the new way where people trust influencers more than they trust brands. So roll out with huge influencers. I mean, we had a few ideas along those lines, working to try to design an interior space, which would be great for Project 62, for instance. Trying to have some like fashionable men getting involved in the new menswear, Goodfellow. All these things are just not being addressed in any way, shape, or form through this new marketing campaign of Target, which is a little disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, people are really interested in Target's new brands. Like, people are excited about it. The announcement itself generated 900 million earned media impressions with, no spend behind it.
With
just
a PR announcement,
people are
right?
excited about it. And Target has, in 2016, spent $570 million on measured media in the States, and didn't have a lot to show for it.
Right.
So we're really excited about potentially some influencer concepts coming into it, like Brad mentioned, like picturing a how-to series on YouTube, how to decorate your space, how, I dress my kids only in Cat and Jack, like things like that. That would be really engaging and exciting, and we'll reach people where they're at. Nobody's watching cable or reading magazines, and they're not going to see these ads.
Especially not, Target, fast, fun, friendly. They're targeting a younger audience. People are consuming content in very different ways. So you've got the strategy, you've got the marketing budget, like Kayan said. You've got to keep your marketing strategy fresh. So this is a good message, not just for Target, but for really anyone. When you're spending all this time to roll out a new strategy, don't become complacent and just do what you've done in the past, because it's the wild, wild west in terms of trying to get people's attention now. Things are different, and you got to stay fresh. So hey, kudos to Target for the new strategy. There's still plenty of time for you to correct your marketing strategy, and I'm sure they'll do some things that we haven't seen or are unexpected, and I hope that indeed that's the case. But I think that's all we got time for today. So thanks again for tuning in. On behalf of KN, I'm Brad, and goodbye
Goodbye from
Detroit.
Detroit.
That was really sad.